What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you had a great weekend. Hope you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of Days of Our Lives, man, this episode was crazy. First of all, Victor, listen, everybody keep underestimating Victor. They keep acting like Victor ain't an OG. Like, they keep thinking because Victor old, Victor don't put in that work still. How wrong you are. Victor still puts in that work. He don't care how. Listen, how old is John Aniston? Like 86, 87? I think he 86, I want to say. And he's still letting people know, like, I'm still here. I'm still a gangster. I'm still an OG. I will still clip you if I have to. I respect it. And, you know, it was funny watching Victor sit there with that necktie around him, around Ben's neck, just strangling him and stuff, and Brady just walking. He like, what the hell do you think you do? I would have been the same way. Like, what is you doing? Like, okay, listen. It's one thing. I get that Victor don't like him for obvious reasons. He don't want him around his grandchild. I get that. But do you have to do it in the living room, in the family home where just anybody can walk in? Sarah can walk in. Maggie can walk in. Like, Sonny could walk in. Justin could walk in. Anybody from the family can just walk in and see you do this. And you just gonna do it in the family room. You couldn't take him to a warehouse or something to do that. Like, Victor, come on now. You know better than that. You don't bring your work home with you. What is you doing? Don't do that at the family home. Are you crazy? Victor just don't care. He old, so he don't care. I knew Brady little wimpy ass was gonna tie him too. I said, Brady's such a punk. I'm like, man, how you gonna lead that family? You better toughen up. Like, seriously. That's why Victor don't trust most of them in his family to lead. The only person I think I've said this a million times. Only person I think that's smart enough and capable enough to lead that family into the new generation is Xander. He's the only one I would trust to handle it and be the next Victor. I mean, there's only going to be one Victor. You can't have another one. But to be somewhat like him, I would choose Xander. Number one pick. My only complaint about Xander was he was a little too crazy to lead that family. That was my only complaint. I felt like they needed to tone him down and then he could lead the family. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to tone down some of that crazy. But he would definitely be my pick to be the head of the Kiriakis family. Definitely. My whole thing about Victor is, the only thing I disagreed with Victor was, why are you doing this now? Like, why are you taking it upon yourself to strangle this man and get him out of Sierra's life now? Like, he's been in Sierra's life for quite some time. Over a year now. And you waited that long? Like, why didn't you do this back when Hope wanted him out? You know what I'm saying? You wait a whole year later to get at him? Like, you should have been there to all that. I'm just saying. And, you know, Brady's sitting there trying to smooth things over and make sure that Ben don't go to the cops and stuff. Listen, I have a newfound respect for Ben after watching today's episode. I really do. I have a newfound respect for him. I know a lot of people probably still don't like Ben because of the whole serial killer nonsense or whatever. That's fine. But I have a whole newfound respect for him because he did a lot of things in this episode he did not have to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he impressed me because he proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, number one, that he really does care about Sierra. He really does love her, and he really has her best interests at heart. Because when he saw Sierra, I'm pretty sure every fiber in his being was telling him to tell her about what Victor did. All he told her was he had a run-in with Victor. You know what I'm saying? And Sierra knew what it was about. Victor didn't want him, you know, dating her, and, you know, and she figured that out because Brady offered her a job at Titan. And the strings attached was she had to dump Ben, basically. That's the only way she could work at Titan. But she's real excited about working there. You know, it's the family company. Plus, for years, and she is right, they've never had, like, a female boss like that. So, you know, it's always been a boys club. You know, you had Sonny running. I mean, you had Sonny running the company. You had Victor always running the company. Brady, Philip, you had Deimos, all these male family members running the company. So now she gets a chance to kind of step into an executive role and work her way up and eventually run the company herself, maybe. And she's real excited about it, about working for Titan and stuff. Putting on one of them little power suits and closing $1 million deals. And Ben saw how excited she was about it. About working with Victor and stuff. My thing about Ciara was she was so naive when it comes to Victor. Like, she really is. Like, she's sitting there talking about, oh, my grandfather got more bark than he got bite. Really? Yeah. When she said that, I was like, yeah, you really don't know your grandfather's dark side at all, do you? Like, she clearly don't. Because Victor's never shown that side of himself to Ciara for good reason. I mean, that's his granddaughter. Of course, he's never going to do nothing crazy in front of her. You know what I'm saying? So, people like Brady and Sonny and all them, yeah, they know that dark side of Victor because they seen it firsthand. But his granddaughters, he would never show that to them. Like, he never. I wouldn't never say never, but for right now, he never has, and he probably won't. But, the rest of the family knows how he operates. They know how he get down. But Ciara's very naive when it comes to Victor. Like, you might want to do your homework on your grandfather. But he's never shown that side to her, so I can understand why she is naive to it. But Ben was supportive. Ben told her, he was like, if you really want that job, go for it. I respect the fact that he didn't tell her the details of what Victor and Xander did to him. Strangling him and stuff like that. He didn't tell her the details of it because he knows how much she loves her family, especially her grandfather. And it would break her heart if he told her the truth, especially with everything going on with Julie and stuff. He didn't want to add to her problems already. So he basically put her above him. You know what I'm saying? He put her happiness first. I respect that. That goes to show he really does care about her and he respects her and he wants what's best for her. I respect it. I really do, because he could have easily ran to her and told her everything Victor did. And she decided to accept the job at Titan under the condition that she gets to keep seeing Ben. She could do whatever she want in her personal life. And, as much as Victor wasn't happy about it, he respected it and was like, you know what? I'll take the offer. I'll take what I can get. And I think Victor was a little surprised that Ben didn't tell her about him strangling him and stuff like that. But it was a good scene, though, between Ciara and Victor. He was basically saying that she has a whole lot of Bo in her. And, he could see a lot of her father. Like, she is her father's child. Definitely she is. And in a lot of instances, Ciara is definitely just like Bo. Like, she's not going to take no junk from nobody. She's going to live her life. You know what I mean? She's not going to be nobody's puppet. I respect it. But my thing about Ben is, and this is why another reason I had a newfound respect for him was he's not afraid of Victor or Brady or Xander. He's not afraid of them. He stood his ground. He stood toe to toe. He didn't back down. He didn't go crying like a little bitch. He didn't none of that. He stood his ground. He let them know, like, yeah, y'all strangling me, y'all this, that, and the third, but I'm not afraid of you. I respect that he stood up to them. He even called Victor Gramps. Victor was like, who the hell are you calling Gramps? I love that scene, though, because he just showed, like, he got a lot of, moxie about him. He's tough. And he basically let Brady know, don't try to break us up again. Don't try to come in between my relationship with Ciara. Don't do it, because it's just going to cause you some problems. But I respect it, though, because the thing about Ben is he knows that Victor's an OG. And he knows that Victor can still put in that work. And he proved that today by strangling him and stuff and having him strangled. He knows that Victor is still very much a gangster at heart. Like, he can still get at you. But he didn't let that faze him. You know what I mean? Like, he showed Victor, like, I'm not afraid of you. Yeah, for an old guy, you could still put in work. You could probably still hurt me or pay somebody to hurt me. He knows that. But he's showing him, like, yo, I'm not backing down from you. And I respect that. I really do. To be honest, I really respect that. He wasn't fazed at all. Like, he wasn't afraid. And that's how you gotta be with people. Like, you just gotta stand up to them. I think Victor even probably has a little respect for him now, Because anybody else, they probably would have backed down and ran like a little bitch, screaming and crying, and broke up with Ciara immediately. But nope, Ben stood his ground. I respect it. So anyway, moving on from that, Gabby. Gabby could run around and tell Ciara, she could tell whoever, I didn't want to hurt your grandmother, told me I would never do that, and Gabby, shut up. You crazy as the day goes by. You're nuts. Ain't nobody buying your little story. Even Lonnie wasn't buying it. Rafe is such an idiot, though. Like, Rafe is the biggest dummy I've ever seen in my life. Listen, I totally understand, like, that's his sister. He wants to, see the good in her. Like, he doesn't want to believe all these negative things that people are saying about her. I get that, but you need to take the blinders off, wake up, and smell the coffee. Your sister's crazy, and she is capable of hurting people physically. Like, she's capable of violence. I don't get why you don't see that. And for Lonnie, of all people, to tell you that and you still don't want to believe it, it says a lot about you. Like, you just want to be naive and stupid to it. You know what I mean? Like, he's very naive when it comes to certain people. You know what I mean? Oh, my sister would never leave someone for dead. Really now? You've seen the lengths that she would go to get revenge. Look at what she did to Abigail and Chad. Look at what she did to Rafe. You think she wouldn't leave Julie for dead? Come on, Rafe, be smarter than this. He sits there and he allows Gabby to pull her little manipulative tactics on him. She's sitting there telling everybody, oh, I would never do that. I would never. They're going off your history, though. Look at the lengths you stooped to before to get revenge. Why would they believe otherwise? You know what I mean? Like, come on now, ain't nobody fooled by you. The only fool is your brother. He's the only one that's dumb enough to believe your nonsense. Everybody else ain't buying it. They know she lying. They know that for fact. She's a liar. And Rafe is just sitting there, yucking it up. Just sitting there believing her little tales, her little stories. And she's sitting there talking about, oh, she's fine. She's fine. She is not no fine. Sierra just told you that she needs a heart transplant and she may not get one because of her age. You know what I mean? Like, she's basically telling you this. So therefore, she's not fine. You just want to minimize it so that way it minimize what you did. Because you want to sit there, oh, I thought she was faking. You knew damn well that woman wasn't faking. You might have thought that for a minute. You know what I mean? For a second, you might have thought that. But it was clear as day she was not faking. Like, clearly, she wasn't. You just want to sit there and spew your little lies. And Rafe was right, though. He told her, getting revenge, it's like it's just going to leave you in this cold world. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to leave you out in the cold. Keep trying to get revenge and stuff. Like, what is getting revenge doing for you? It's making your life more difficult because now you're adding you're adding charges to you now because of this revenge that you're getting. Like, you could be charged. You know what I mean? Like, if they find some type of evidence against you, why be a fool? There's many ways to get revenge, and leaving somebody for dead is not the smart way. I'm just saying. And the funny thing is, she went up in the police station and gonna sit there and try to threaten Lonnie, talking about, oh, stop spreading these lies about me. And Lonnie was like, oh, that sounds like a threat. She talking about, no, that's a warning. You know how stupid you look going into a police station and threatening a detective? That wasn't a warning. That was a threat. Fool. Like, see, this is the foolish stuff that Gabby does. I'm like, see? And I love how Lonnie just stood there in her face laughing at her. Like, she was smiling and smirking all up in her face. Like, Gabby, go sit down. What you gonna do? Throw her down a flight of stairs too? Just sit down somewhere. Anybody scared of you? Like, she swears she's so damn badass. So anyway, moving on from that. Nicole and Eric. Nicole and Eric get on my nerves. Listen, all of this weeping and crying and moping, I'm like, I can do without it. Like, the last thing I wanted was crying, weepy, mopey Nicole back. That's the last thing I wanted. I need fierce, badass Nicole back, not this crying version. Because it's like every time you see Nicole, she weeping and crying about something, and then Eric walking around moping, and I'm like, do we really need to see this every day? And they sitting there talking about their feelings for each other and getting back together potentially and how it's going to make Sarah feel. Sarah, I don't even understand how Sarah could possibly believe that that baby is Eric's. They just had sex not too long ago. How is it possible that that's Eric's child? Why would she not think that that's Rex's child? She slept with him too recently. It wasn't that long ago before they broke up that she slept with Rex. So there's a big possibility the child could be his. And then, of course, while she was asleep, Xander found the pregnancy test, the paperwork for her test that she took at the doctor. My guess would be that she's probably gonna try to pass the baby off as Xander baby, so Eric won't find out. I mean, I don't see how they don't think that we can do the math on this. Like, didn't they sleep together? Eric and Sarah slept together on August the 5th or somewhere around here. I think it was John and Marlena's anniversary party that they slept together that night. And that party was for days. Like, it spanned a few days. So it hasn't even been weeks that passed in Salem yet. So that baby would have to be Rex's. If you do the math, it would have to be Rex's child. Unless they're going to skip a timeline or something and say that it is Eric's. But other than that, if you really do the math, that's Rex's kid. Last thing I need is Sarah having a baby. That's the last thing I need. I mean, as a character, I think Sarah's decent, but I definitely don't want to see her with Xander. I think Xander can do a little better. I just don't think that the chemistry is all the way there between her and Xander. I could be wrong, maybe. I don't know. Some people might think differently, but for me, I don't see the chemistry between them. You know, I understand Xander wants to be a better person for her, but I feel like it's just going to backfire on him. Like, he's not going to get the love and validation from her that he thinks he's going to get in the future. Like, you're just not going to get that, I don't think. Because she's always going to be hung up on somebody else. You know, he could smooth talk his way in there all he want to, but it ain't going to work. Nicole and Eric, I am not looking forward to them coming back to Salem, to be honest. Like, with all that weeping and crying and moping, I ain't looking forward to all of that. I mean, their scenes was nice or whatever, them reuniting. But if this is what y'all gonna do every day, I'm not looking forward to it. You have to do something different. Vivian. I freaking love Vivian. Robin Stracer. I feel like Robin Stracer is doing an amazing job as Vivian. I miss the original Vivian though. Because every time I see Robin Stracer, I think of, even in scenes today with her, when she was with Stefan and stuff, I keep seeing Dorian Lord. That's all I keep seeing is Dorian. I'm like, every time she talk and I see her, I'm like, there go Dorian. But she was hilarious though when she was at the cemetery burying Kate. And she was like, oh, now you're not the only bad bitch. I love Vivian. Vivian was not playing. She looked deranged in that cemetery, sitting there laying on top of the dirt and stuff, laughing. I say, yo, this chick is crazy. Coming back up in the room all dirty. Because Stefan has a plan. Like, his whole plan is to get a confession out of Kate that she shot Vivian and stuff like that. And so that way the board at DiMera could fire Kate and put him and Vivian in charge as CEOs of DiMera. But that plan is going to fail because Vivian shot her and buried her. So now they got to come up with a new plan. Or some other way to get DiMera Enterprises back. But unbeknownst to them, Kate is about to be a phoenix and she's about to literally rise from the ashes. Like, when Kate pushed her hand up through that dirt, I said, well, damn, Vivian, how deep did you bury her? She don't even look like she was buried 6 feet deep if she could just reach her hand up like that and pull it out of the dirt. I said, well, you must have not buried her deep enough. I can't wait for Kate to get out that dirt because you know all hell about to break loose. When she recover and she go after Vivian, I can't wait. It's about to be a whole showdown between them. Like, it's about to be a hot mess. Anyway, I think that was pretty much everything in this episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see y'all all later. Peace.